Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've been on a little hiatus, guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Gar was nearly on his deathbed last week.
Almost died.
I called the poor guy to talk some work and check in on him. And he sounded like death. He sounded sad. He sounded like made my heart go out to him. He was messed up. You had COVID, among other things, ear infection?
Yeah, ear infection. I don't know, freaking some other stuff too, because my nose was going and still going. My stamina is still freaking shocked.
You know,
crazy.
You know what I bet it is? It's probably from you being all up on that mic that so many other people's mouths have been on.
Really? So
Just
you've been
kidding.
sharing my mic to other people?
No, actually, I'm pretty sure you may be. I mean, since we got the new setup, this is like the only mic that you've touched, or you're the only one that's touched that mic. Pretty sure.
I don't know if I can trust this guy.
But, and one of these is brand spanking new. So if you got lucky, maybe that is like your personal mic. I don't know. But welcome, guys.
I'm gonna bring alcohol swabs next time.
I bet we have some in here.
We can just mess
We
with
probably
it,
should be sanitizing it, but whatever.
No, hell with it.
It's like a cast iron pan, you know? You don't want to wash a cast iron pan with soap. You want to clean it with oil and let all that flavor sit in there.
Exactly.
You know? Welcome to the Fence, guys. With your hosts, Mitch
and Gar.
We talk about all kinds of topics to help give a leg up to first-time exercisers and people that are just getting into the gym or starting strength training. Topics we cover.
Or even with the people with the experience, too.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
Topics we cover. Damn it. You see, I still can't recover. I still barely speak.
I can still hear it in your voice, actually.
Yeah, freaking. Anyways, strength, diet, just building some muscle, stamina, everything, man, everything.
That's right. The topics we cover could help you with all that. And our goal, as your hosts, is to help give a leg up to all of you to get into the body of your dreams.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, brother. Oh, yeah.
I thought I turned that off. Whoops. So we're a little rusty. It took us longer than normal to get set up. We're having some technical difficulties, but we're here and we're queer, right, Gar? You pounded it before you even knew what I said.
I knew. I was like, my body didn't want it, but I was like, I trust this fucker.
But it's good to be back, man. It's good to be back in the saddle. We have some cool content coming out at you. Today we're going to kind of just do a little catch-up. It's going to be casual. So me and Lance, we met up this morning. We were shooting some really cool content on the trailer. We got 5 videos in under an hour.
Nice.
So that was pretty solid.
High
Went smoothly. Yeah. And I'm really excited about some of that content. We've been pumping out all kinds of good content on the company socials. Give us a follow at black_out_training. Black spelled BLAAK. Give that account a follow. That's my full-time gig. And I have not been posting anything on the Fence podcast socials. I've been slacking.
Not gonna lie, man. I've been shitbagging myself too. I have not posted anything for ages.
Yeah.
That sickness took me out, and I don't know, it beat my dopamine receptors too, probably. So I have not been doing much towards. I never been a biggest fan of the social media and taking videos and stuff.
Me neither.
And it just like I have to force myself to do something. That's when it goes to the social media.
And so that's a helpful topic we could touch on for any people that are aspiring fitness influencers out there, or if you just want to share your journey. You're losing weight, you're building muscle, you're starting to get really proud of that physique. Some invaluable advice that I heard, and I have tried to follow, and I have followed at times, is don't try to create content. Just kind of be the content, live the content.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And that's actually, I agree with you. And I was thinking it too, man. It's like I got everything pretty much to make it when you think about it. I look fairly good. Yeah. I'm fairly strong. Stronger than you. So.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I do a lot of fun shit. Like right now, I have not been jumping from planes because still being super careful with my shoulder since the surgery, because it's when you jump, there is certain sudden movements, and sometimes you have to fail on the side when you're already jumping by yourself. But yeah, I got motorcycles. I shoot guns, and not just shoot guns, but compete with it, run around and going crazy and stuff.
Right.
There's a lot of fun stuff, but me.
Well, and to stay on topic, like, but regardless what the content is, whether it's fitness related, your personal fitness journey, or just your lifestyle, everybody, believe it or not, even you listening right now that thinks that I don't do anything interesting. Start filming yourself doing daily tasks. If you're in the gym 5 days a week, that's freaking 5 pieces of content minimum.
Oh yeah, listen,
right
man.
There.
We all are good in something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just have to find that something. You just focus at it. Just sit by yourself for an hour. Like, don't throw your freaking phone away. All right, computer, shut everything down. Grab a notebook, pen, sit down by yourself. Just be present, man. You will find it. I'm telling you.
And there's so many like fringe skills that people might not be proud of per se, because they're like, this is weird. Other people might not appreciate it. Like maybe it's like freaking scrapbooking or freaking art or it could be like penny tricks where you stack quarters on your elbow and you can catch them really well. Everything's interesting to me.
That's
love
gangster, not gonna lie.
Right. My dad used to do that trick growing up, and I can do it. I haven't done it in a long time, but yeah, you just like embrace.
He will do it next time. You're gonna practice it this week.
Shit! If I had quarters on me, I would try right now.
Shit.
You don't have any change, right?
No, I don't. But I will find it for next week.
And we got to make sure we are here next week. But yeah, just embrace and as far as trying to create that content or being the content, something that I've learned is, and that I embrace and really am happy with learning, is that it doesn't all have to be per se one. What's the word I'm looking for? One niche that is all your content. Share all of that content. Share it all, even on the same platform, Share that scrapbooking, and then if you like to go to the gym, share the gym, share your whole life, and just like embrace it. And then I will say, by doing that in the past, I've been very consistent for more than a year on end with content, and that's because I was living the content. I was just filming. I was working out twice a day, every day for 150 days. So, and if you just film those workouts, you'll find little clips and stuff in there that can be awesome and inspire people. So no matter how early you are in your journey, don't buy into the thought in your mind that nobody else will care, nobody else will be affected or be inspired by this. That's definitely not the case.
Absolutely. At the end, actually, you are the niche. You know what I'm saying? And even, I know this is going to sound rude, but I'm straightforward like a tank, so what can I do? Even if you are a freaking like a behemoth, okay? Like a freaking 400 or 500 pound guy, that's great. Start working out. Start training. Start videoing that. You know how many people you will inspire when you will be improving and getting better. Because a lot of people doesn't have a hope that they can get somewhere. And you will show. It takes a lot of struggle, man. Surround yourself with the people that will actually support you. Because like my friend, he wants something that is super expensive, and he's a little bit like older, but he always was giving everything to his children, everything. And I was like, and that thing he wants, it's like a $40,000.
Was he getting a boat?
Rolex watch, gold
okay.
Rolex. So it was his dream, like for 20 plus years.
He needs to get it then,
Yeah, and saying, I was like, dude, do it. Freaking, I've seen it too. Like he gives everything to his children. Like he takes care of them. I was like, freaking do it.
How old are the kids now?
Like a few years younger than me. They're like closer to 10.
So time to cut them off, man. Time to cut them off.
Oh, don't get me wrong. This is a lot of parents from our area. It's like that. They will keep helping the kids till the end of the days.
Yeah.
It's like two extremes. Or there is none and they don't help for shit. And they are like not a good parents, or they are super great parents.
Well, you can't say per se just because they're not giving as much as they can or anything at all.
Oh, no, even raising wise and
I know what you meant by it, but the reason I wanted to reiterate that is because that was me. My parents, they paid for my schooling and sports and stuff like that, but I had to like fend for myself for things that I wanted, like, if I wanted to go on a trip or like maybe like a special basketball team thing, or if I wanted shoes, or if I wanted a cell phone, I had to go out there and work for it, and it's been that way, my entire life. But that's okay because that taught me a good work ethic. And I'm sure that they would have helped more if they could, especially my mom.
Listen, actually, that I agree. That's how it should be. I'm planning to raise my kids like that. I will help them, but listen, you have to put down some work. You're not just gonna, hey, Dad, I want this. Oh, okay, Sonny. Doesn't matter even if I will be a billionaire. I don't care.
And make them work for it, and then help them where you
Yeah.
can, like for their schooling if possible.
Exactly.
That's a dream of mine. Pay for my kids' schooling one day. At least part of it. At least assisting them. I don't know. Depending what they're doing too. Like you don't want them to have to work full time and juggle full time school, right? Like that's definitely not ideal.
Let's say like that. As long as I see in them like a discipline, that they are willing to do
Right,
work,
they better be hustling.
and they don't think like
Those grades better be good. Like
Exactly.
you let those grades slip, you're paying for your own shit.
Exactly. Listen, I have to see you being a hardworking person. I'm just not gonna throw money at everything just because you want to. They need to appreciate that.
Well,
They need
I've
to
seen it ruin
appreciate
a lot of kids, creates entitled people,
Exactly.
Titled
we see
spoiled.
it everywhere.
especially in our area.
Pretty much, yeah.
I saw this really cool topic. We're going to pivot a little bit. I saw, you probably heard the statistic. I think it was actually Joe Rogan talking about it. They were talking about a 405-pound squat specifically.
All right.
And they were throwing some statistics out there that I thought were super interesting. And you'll appreciate this because you're a strong boy, and you do lift more than this. So I'm really curious what percentile you're in. I'm hovering a little bit under the number we're about to talk about, which breaks my heart. But after reading up on this, I'm setting a new goal to hit this. So only 1 out of 50 people can do a 405-pound squat. Okay, and so that that's global. Now that comes out to 0.012% of the entire world population. And even further yet, that means that 3 out of every 25,000 people can do a 405-pound squat. And we're talking, obviously there's plenty of cheaters out there, but a clean, controlled, healthy 405-pound squat.
Below parallel. Or
Right.
at least a parallel.
Right.
That's, if not, nope.
So, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because when I read these statistics, it kind of like re-inspired me a little bit. Because during my 75 hard days, I just walked around with this, like, I just knew that I was working harder than anybody else. In my mind, at least, I had this just like unbelievable confidence in what I was doing and how much work I was putting in. Because like, there's no wiggle room for any lies, any excuses. And just imagine the confidence that you have walking around knowing that you're better, quote unquote. I'm going to say better, but I'll change it to stronger than
I mean, not only that. Don't forget,
25,000 people, any 25,000 people.
discipline. You are better. Discipline. That's what makes people better.
Right.
Discipline.
Well, that's the only way you're going to get to that number, right?
Absolutely.
Like, is discipline.
Because hell with the motivation. That's for a beginning.
Right. Yeah. And you can use motivation. You can ride that wave. What's funny is like, it's kind of unhealthy. I need to talk to my therapist about it. But whenever I'm feeling extremely motivated, I actually almost like try to kill that motivation.
Oh, wow. So it's like you are discouraging yourself in your mind.
I just know that it's only going to last for a certain amount of time.
Wow.
And I don't want to like count on or expect that motivation 24/7 because I know it's fleeting, it comes and goes. And so whenever like I feel really motivated and like an incredible mood, in the back of my mind the whole time I'm just like, well, this is gonna fade, like whatever. Like I don't need to ride off. I'm just gonna stay dedicated, stay disciplined. And yes, this is cool, this feeling of motivation, but like I almost want to like not be motivated, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's probably something to talk about. But listen, think it this way too. Like it's great in a way of if it lets you, if you're planning to do certain, learn a new skill. Let's say like that, right? And that motivation from nowhere helps you to start that new skill. And you call yourself a very disciplined person. That discipline just will help you to go through that. A lot of times we don't even start stuff because we are afraid, we still procrastinate and stuff. But listen, man, if that motivation helps you to start that new skill, why the hell not?
Yeah. I'm just saying personal things. I'm not saying that you should do this. This is not a healthy thing, and I know what my therapist would say. She'd be like, "You got an issue. You got to work through this." But just wanted to throw that out there.
And you'll be like, "That's why I'm here, ma'am.
Right?
I need your help.
Help me.
Give it to me."
Give it to me, baby. There's something to be said about having discipline and just knowing how hard you work for something. And not letting, not sharing it, not oversharing it. Maybe keeping it to yourself.
Absolutely.
Keep it in your back pocket. Internalize it, and just have that self pride and confidence because hold on to that. Because sometimes if you're sharing it too much or you're bragging about it, that joy, that confidence that you have will just get stolen from you. It'll get ripped out of your hand.
So you said, how many people squat 405?
405 pounds. It was 1 out of 50 people.
405 pounds, 1 out of 50 people.
1 out of 50 people, so that comes out to 0.012%.
Wait. Just the males, or including everyone?
I'm pretty sure this is including. That's a good question. Why'd you have to bring that up?
I like.
I'm pretty sure it's the entire population. I don't think it's just males. I don't believe.
Because there is the thing. Most likely, when I see everyone in my neighborhood, no one is freaking squatting 405.
I mean, I don't know the exact guidelines of the study. If it is the entire population, you're counting, babies, infants. You're counting elderly. You're counting women.
That's what I'm saying. There probably is an age here.
Right. 100%. But I'm pretty sure this is just general population, which obviously is going to make those statistics and numbers so much more exciting, right? But still, that's something I am curious. I have read other statistics as far as like specifically males and stuff like that. I know there are like basic guidelines on different compound lifts, and depending on your age and gender, where you should kind of be falling or where you do fall, depending on what you lift. And that would be something interesting to talk about maybe on a later episode.
So 600 plus, but with. Okay, now I have to get into the dumb details.
And so it was, 3 out of 20, 3 out of 25,000 people is the end statistic.
Like I can do well.
I don't think you need to start worrying. Yeah, right. What about raw?
Yeah, raw I can do well over 500, like a 530, 540. Reps 6 plus. So that's why I was like, hey, what if 6 plus?
You're starting to sound like my wife. Like, I'm just trying to talk about something, and she's asking all the dumb questions, making it more complicated.
Not dumb, detailed.
No, they're not dumb questions. Not in this case, but for her, yeah, always dumb.
Now, which minute is it? Because I want to tell her to look at it.
Yeah,
look into it.
We're at 19:30.
19:30. Okay,
So
I will tell her to like a 19.
Fast forward to 19.
She gonna unleash her Italian freaking.
Yeah, Italian and German. I don't know what else she is. Jewish, maybe?
That's probably the most peaceful part from the
right.
Italians are wild girls.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Okay. We've talked about it before, but I wanted to talk a little bit about protein.
Let's go.
Protein. So, protein. A lot of people, I feel like, what's a good analogy? I feel like protein, it's so overplayed. Every person, a lot of people out there, women and men included, they're gonna, they hear it so much. They're like, oh, this personal trainer, or this meathead, they're talking about protein. Like, what an idiot. I understand protein's important, and I get that. But there's reasons why we preach it. It's not just because, gym is associated with protein. It's not just like a clean-cut reason. There's a lot of science behind it, and I wanted to dive into just a couple of those pieces. So, obviously, when you exercise,
yeah,
a lot of stuff's happening. But one of the things that's happening is you're creating little micro tears in the muscle.
Absolutely.
Protein, what it's actually doing for us is it's supplying amino acids. Okay, and the amino acids then fuse to those torn muscles to help repair it and lay down additional layers of muscle. Okay, so that's the process of growing muscle is your micro tears, and then what the protein does is supply the amino acids to help repair those muscles. What are amino acids? Amino acids are the building blocks of your body, of muscle, okay, of muscle tissue. So it's the amino acids are repairing those micro tears in the muscle fibers. Once you consume the protein and the amino acids are readily available, your body forms new proteins, okay? And then it activates the new tissue, fuses them to the existing tissue, and voila. That is kind of the science behind the protein. We've talked about how much you should be having, right? Like 0.8 grams or a gram per pound of body weight is a good rule of thumb to follow. But a good analogy I like to use, go ahead, butt in.
For me, it's like lean body mass. We have to count it from there. Like, let's say there's a bunch of trainers, okay? God bless them. There's one female, she's like a Russian-speaking trainer and stuff, and one of the girls gave me her diet. It's funny. That girl is about 150 pound-ish, okay? And her protein intake by the female trainer's orders is 150 gramish. Listen, 150 gram for a girl, it's not easy to eat, okay? It's like for me, it's not easy to eat 200.
Right, 100%.
You know, and I'm big as dude, okay? And she's a female. She's a tall female. It's not like she's a 5'3" and round, you know. She's a tall female, so
Gar
she's
likes
already
tall.
skinny. Yeah. Still round in the right places, but anyways.
Hey.
But yeah, so it's not easy to. It's almost impossible. You never be able to eat that much. There's a certain tricks, like if you add some dextrose increase the appetite, this, that. But yeah, it's super hard. So you have to apply that 0.8 grams per pound of lean body mass.
And then that's where the supplementation comes in, a.k.a. protein shakes.
True that, but I always still do, and probably one of those companies gonna kill me one day, but I prefer real food. Protein from real
and you should,
food.
obviously. We know that, right? Be getting as many of our protein caloric goals from whole foods. But that's why it's called supplementation, and it's not a meal replacement.
Yeah,
Talking to you, some of you, my clients, and just because you're getting protein shakes in doesn't mean you're good then. No, you still got to get all that other protein, not just your 30 grams from that one shake or that 60 grams from drinking two.
Exactly. Chemically added freaking vitamins and stuff that your body doesn't gonna digest at all.
Or
so you
absorb.
just you just threw that away. So yeah, real food.
A good analogy I like to use when it comes to protein, right, is, I don't know if you remember 2 years back, I think it was 2 years back, and even this year, but 2 years back was worse. We had kind of a severe drought, and all the grass was dying in my clients' yards if it was directly exposed to the sun. You know, it was all turning freaking brown, dude, and literally dying, not just like dead to the root. And so the analogy I like to use is, picture, you're in, a setting like that, okay? Or even a normal summer, okay? But, okay, picture you're going out, you go to the shed. It's time to cut the grass. So you open the shed, you fill her up with, the lawnmower up with gas. You prime her, you turn it on, and you mow, okay? And depending how big your yard is, you might spend anywhere from 30 minutes to freaking 2 hours. Okay, and you're emptying that grass, the cut grass into the woods, and then you're putting that bag back on, and you're mowing, you're sweating, and you're dehydrated. Okay, and you put in all this work. But then when you finish and you go inside for the day, the rest of that week, you don't water that grass, okay? You don't turn on those sprinklers. The sun is beating. You cut that grass. Yeah, you put in the work. You sweat. You put in some blood, sweat, and tears. But you're not feeding that grass. You need to water that grass, and that is, essentially what protein is for your muscles. You need to fuel that grass or it's going to die. So what's the point in putting in all that work if you're not going to properly fuel your body? It would be the same principle as cutting that grass. It's freaking drought, and then you don't go in water. It's not gonna do you any good. Per se.
Absolutely. And don't give me that freaking excuses that I cannot eat that much. You absolutely can. You just have to cut out a lot of nonsense. All right. And if there is still something left, you think you didn't eat that extra 20-30 grams of protein at the end, okay, only at that time you can add. Actually, I always prefer to get a nice lean protein shake before when I was not on a carnivore diet, but and some carbohydrates with the salt and 100 milligrams of caffeine because it speeds up digestion of that. But yeah, mid-workout, and that's it. That's the only time. Protein shake. That's it.
I think probably the best thing about having a higher protein diet, right? Like all the reasons we just discussed, yes, those all apply. They're all very important. And that's kind of our job, is to try to inform you. But the best thing about getting that high level of protein in is you're not going to have a ton of appetite for anything else.
Absolutely.
Protein is very satiating. It's going to fill you up, okay? And if you can't get enough protein and you're having trouble, chances are you're maybe a little too high on your carbohydrates and fats. So it's just going to eliminate some of those carbohydrates and fats, and just going to, better balance out that entire diet.
True that. Always put main attention to the protein. As long as even a lot of famous, like dietologists and stuff, like fitness people who are oriented and has degrees in dietology, nutrition, they will say, like, concentrate on the protein first and then everything else.
Okay, here's the portion of the podcast where we will answer some questions from our loyal followers and listeners. Question by Jasmine B. Mitch and Gar, what are your own personal favorite exercises? And which of these exercises are good for specific goals?
All right. Sprints. Because have you ever seen a marathon runner that looks good?
They look emaciated.
Yeah, they look sad, man. It's like every time I see them, I want to throw a
cheeseburger
beef
at their
jerky
face
or something. Like, yeah, it's like, eat, you poor bastards.
I know.
So I feel bad for them. But when you look at the sprinters, they look like weapons. Okay, they actually look like a mini bodybuilders right there.
Right.
So it's freaking God bless them, man. So my favorite exercise for losing body fat is always a sprint. It annihilates. There you go. Thank you, sir. Annihilates your glycogen stores. It just woof, right away. It's like 10, 12 sets of those bad boys of 20 seconds. You don't even need more. And rest till your heart rate will recover. And I suggest really to just walk around and breathe deep, And it's just magical, man. If you will do it 3 times a week, you see difference like very fast. It's magical. Of course, don't forget to keep your good diet and sleep. If you just sprint, that doesn't mean you can mess up all of it.
Right.
So one, as I said, singular wise exercising, let's say for body fat loss, sprints. Absolutely.
Incredible recommendation, and you kind of, took the wind right out of my sails because that's up there for me.
Damn.
Let me think. I love squats. I love squats. I just love them. I think they're my favorite exercise.
I actually will go. I will agree with you. Actually,
yeah.
There was one time when my deadlifts was my favorite. Not anymore. Squats.
There was a short period of time when mine was too, but I do love my deadlifts. But squats, I'm naturally kind of tight in my hips and my quads and stuff, and so I pay extra close attention to increasing my mobility. And squats I find are an incredible way for me to I do a couple nice really deep static holds to get warmed up. And then once those hips are opened up and I feel all my leg muscles firing, I just love to go heavy on a squat. And it's so good for posture too, just core strength, everything, glutes, quads, hammies. And I get so much out of it. And I just love lifting up that heavy weight and squats. And, pertaining to what is it specifically good for? Everything.
Yeah, it's pretty much a full
everything,
body exercise.
Whether
Absolutely.
it be fat loss, whether it be strength, whether it be cardio, you're getting a lot out of them. And obviously you can play around, your rep ranges and how many rounds you're doing, volume and stuff. But
true that.
But I really do it, yes, I want to, we talked about earlier.
Tempo too.
Right. And yes, I want to hit that 405 because I want to be, that 3 out of 25,000 people. But what's more important to me is just making sure that they feel good, making sure that I'm deep in that squat. That's what I love out of the squat. So when I do start pushing those heavier numbers, and if I feel that form starting to get just a tad shallower, I always just kind of, get that 1 rep max and then dial back the weight again, or try to stick with that weight and just remaster that exact range that I had before I ever progress again. But squats. Yeah. And I'm sorry if it was kind of a vague answer on what they're good for, but what is it good for? Absolutely everything.
Exercise. Listen, you can use, as I said, a tempo, rep range. You can make a freaking cardio after it too. It's fantastic exercise. If I had just from few to choose, of course, all of the exercise would be the base ones, like a bench press, deadlift, squats, shoulder press. That's always would keep it, and you always can make variations after those too. So yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. But Melissa asked our thoughts of HIIT cardio, and I love it, man. I love it.
And the sprints we talked about could qualify.
Absolutely, sprints can qualify as a HIIT cardio. But I would say, and you can include that sprints in a HIIT cardio. It's going to be hard, listen, because 20 seconds of max effort running, that's going to beat you up. But let's say you are a beast, okay?
A beast.
Or beastess.
Beastess.
So, listen, I love HIIT cardio when I do not have, let's say, my life is pretty much that 72 hard, or what do you call it?
75 hard.
75 hard. There you go. My life is pretty much somewhat like that. Anyways, because let's say my life is in the gym, I train clients and I hang out in the gym. So when I have a free time, I can do whatever I want. So I do have in the morning, like an hour free or so between clients sometimes. And when I have it and I know I don't have a super heavy training later, muscle building training, then I will do a HIIT cardio. It's great if you do it properly, because you cannot just do like all these chain gyms do, let's do rear delts with the dumbbells, and then let's do like a rear lunges, and that's our HIIT cardio. What? There is absolutely no force in those exercises, power.
So so I'm gonna share kind of what I think you're putting out there. Is the term HIIT is
high intensity interval.
So yeah, that's what it means, right? But it is used way too much and way too freely. And so, you have these big group classes, these gyms, and they have these stations set up, right? And you're there for a certain amount of time, and you're doing multiple exercises, and then you get a little rest, beep, and then you move to the next station, right? That is not HIIT. That's actually
just a regular. It's just a regular group class.
Well, and if you're looking at your ventilatory threshold as far as where you want to be to target fat, that's the exact place you don't want to be.
Exactly.
Is that kind of thing where your heart rate's up the entire time to a moderate level, and you're just working nonstop. That's literally the only spot you don't want to be. You want to be either super short burst, or super low intensity, or super high. We're talking, like he said, force. We're talking super high, like sprint, something that gets your heart rate spiked within a matter of seconds, and then you stop and you rest and you let it recover. So I think that's what he's referring to.
Absolutely.
The misuse of the word or the term HIIT.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's say kettlebell swings, one of my all-time favorites. Kettlebell swings. Power. That freaking thing is the power. Okay? It's pretty much Olympic weightlifting, but with a kettlebell. All right? It's a little bit different motion, but still about the same. Kettlebell swings. Jumps. All right? Box jumps, let's say. And the sled punches. You are just poof, with the maximum maximum force output. Do that 20 second. All right? HIIT cardio right there. You do maximum force output on each those short times. All right? That's a HIIT cardio. Not the bunch of regular exercises and you're just doing minute, or 50 seconds, and okay, that's what we call a HIIT cardio. And most of the chain gyms, actually, that's what they do these days.
And and we're not naming any names, but in the defense of these organizations, they're giving the people what they want, because that's what is widely accepted as what's going to get you to where you want to be. That's what a lot of people enjoy. That's one of the biggest issues that I run into when organizing my own boot camps for blackout training, is making sure to find that happy medium between true strength training, to build that muscle and lay down additional muscle, lay down additional layers of bone, increase your metabolism, really get you progressing, a progression of actual muscle growth, and balance that out with the higher intensity HIIT that the people love, because you got to make sure they're coming back. So then that's, in their defense, it is hard to stick to your guns, stick with the fundamentals of things that will get them to where they want to be, and indulge them to make sure they keep coming back so that they're having fun. So that's where the skill comes in. That's where the magic happens.
Yeah, true that, because a lot of people at the end, they don't understand, and sometimes they don't want to listen when you're trying to explain to them, like, listen, it's done it this way, this way, this way. I understand you're taking longer break this way, but can you really do the same thing without that longer break?
No chance, Jose.
Yeah.
So, and just to finish off that topic, of course, we do believe that anything is better than nothing. So as long as you're getting in somewhere, in some sort of environment where you have supportive, like-minded people who are staying active and helping keep you accountable, that's really all that matters in the end. But if you're not seeing the fat loss that you want, or the muscle gain, or the physique that you would like, reevaluate.
Absolutely.
That's all.
But again, motion is a lotion, so as long as you're doing something, that's already good, because you're keeping yourself a little bit up there,
That's right.
You will age gracefully thanks to that. As long as you will do everything safely.
Right. Don't go tearing your biceps.
Like your friend does all the time. Not all the time. I have one left.
Just one. All right, well, that about wraps it up. We only have time for the 2 questions today. We hope you enjoyed the episode. We will be back with even more value next week. And on that note,
have a good day, kids.
We love and appreciate you. Couldn't do it without you. Please submit a topic request form on our link tree.
Oh, yeah. We're a family, so don't be shy.
That's right. That's right. Thanks for all your support. Email us if you want to get in touch at mitchellblack@gmail.com.
I was going to... You just took the tradition out of it.
We're rusty. Email. Whoops, I already said that. Shoot us a DM, comment on any of our content, and we will respond. To stay up to date on all that we're up to or will be up to, give us a follow on Instagram at @thefence_podcast, on YouTube at The Fence Podcast, or wherever you listen to your podcasts, simply at The Fence.
Whoop-de-doo.
Ta-ta for now.